to What Remains of Edith Finch, Part 2. So last time we left off with the story of Barbara here. Very interesting story. This game is very, very interesting. So I'm guessing here is all of the shows she performed in. I haven't looked around a lot here. I was just looking at yeah, I didn't look at anything when I ended the stream. I just got off and went to bed. Wow, she even has a street sign after her, or she took the street sign. Let's see, she's got some records down here. I would assume these are Coke cans, or like soda cans. Obviously has some cigarettes here. And a birthday cake. And a typewriter. Yeah, that's a typewriter. Let's see. Penelope Diner. Alright then, so, yeah, you can't open these doors. Yeah, you can actually see they've been completely sealed. So, we're gonna go back out this way. And we're gonna go try to... Actually, hang on. I didn't actually check to see if there was another secret entrance in here. Let me check for that real fast. Alright, let's see. Because I need to go explore the room down the hallway that I did not go explore. Let's see, let's check real fast. I already looked around here, but I just want to double check, make sure there's nothing. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything in here. Welcome to the stream.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Huh, a little interesting dialogue here.
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Because it takes you down to the basement? It is awfully dark in here. Yo, hey, it's Will. Alright, so I wonder if the basement key opens that up. Opens up that area that I couldn't go into last time? Alright, let's check it. Okay, so all of these rooms seem to be locked up. Sven and Edie. Okay, that's the room that I was in when I turned into the cat. Calvin and Sam's room. So whose room is this? Gregory, huh?
As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of.
Oh, this is the bathroom. Okay, so I've been in all these. Oh, I gotta go to the music box. Maybe maybe the key will come out. You know, I would assume that that's why that wood table is there, because in the story with Barbara, there was a glass table. Unless it's just to fit the narrative of the story, but there was a glass table. Horror Game Part 2. Wait, this wasn't here.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
I don't remember this being here. Yeah, because I remember coming over here. I even looked at this door, unless I was just... Oh, I can see the caulking a lot more clearly now. Maybe it was just something where the graphics weren't rendering. It's a weird thing with that. Wow, it's really dark. Oh my god. Alright. So I have to rotate it this way. I just keep going. There we go. I don't want to go down here because of what I saw. Packing peanuts are lit. Because of what I saw in the Barbara trailer, I don't want to go down here. That music box is not helping. Shut up. Quiet. Oh my god. Alright, down we go. I'm scared. Nah, chat, I can't do it. Even though this isn't a real basement, headset off, I can't do it. Oh, I'm scared. Okay, it all looks good now.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
Unless you wanted another tetanus shot. See, this house is weird, because, like, everything seems very incomplete. Oh, these were the plans for the dragon that he never finished because he died.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Yo! A secret entrance. Hiding dead bodies in the house. What?
I remember asking Mom once about where Walter had gone.
Who's Walter? Oh, Walter was her brother.
She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could.
There's like a whole
If there's a
Fallout
pattern
shelter
in all
here.
these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Yo. There's a whole... Wait. You're telling me that Walter moved down here? He just secluded himself down? He's got a TV, he's got a sink, cooking supplies. He's 53 years old. Wow. Looks like he's got a little theater set up. He's got a exercise bike. Wow.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can.
Yikes. It's got a hole.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
So is there a monster that just comes and
Whatever
gets all of
killed
them?
Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin. Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me.
That's a cool effect. I like that.
Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it, especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
They
I
have
can
a whole
already
tree.
imagine the sun on my
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
What am I looking at? Oh, okay. Thought I was supposed to be looking at something over here. Down we go. Yeet.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Oh, that's weird. In order to go down, I have to press up on the thumbstick.
But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding.
So, what is this supposed to be?
I don't want to make the same mistakes she made.
Is this all of his trash? I'm guessing I'm supposed to crawl through here.
Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Or you can't see anything.
Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe 2. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else.
Oh, so that's what the
But now I'm
rumbling
worried the
was.
stories themselves might be the problem.
The rumbling was the train coming by every
Maybe we
day.
believed so much in a family curse. We made it real.
there chairs? What?
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Huh, motion sensor lights.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Oh, that's what he was...
And the history you're a part of.
That makes so much sense. So, yeah, here it is right here. Here's Molly. This is what was in the basement in part 1 with Barbara. I'm gonna call it the Barbara Act. Okay, makes sense. Alright, let's... Huh. This game was very well thought out.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think the people in these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Of books. Not exactly sure. Oh, there's a little statue or monument up there. I think the thing that's super suspenseful about this game is how slow you move.
And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Oh, there's the swing.
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Oh, this is the family cemetery.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Dang!
Three of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
That's cool, look at the little man in there. And that's carving. Dang, she died on her birthday. She was exactly 16.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
There's Sven and Edie. That's Odin, the captain of the ship. Or
She
the
could
house.
see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Oh, is that the house right there? That's kind of what I figured it was when I was walking down on the beach.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
I'm supposed to look at.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from.
I don't even know who these are.
Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Wow, 1-year-old.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
So I say 88 to 2010? 1966 to 22.
There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
This is the tree.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
That's why that's why she looked like that. Yeah, see.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Dang.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged.
Shouldn't we be leaving?
Just want to get a shot of you, Dawn, then we can take off. Not quite. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole
I
weekend,
was like, how do I
isn't
zoom
it?
in?
Please just take the damn picture.
Hey, language.
I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Aw. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
This is weird.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Hold still while I take a picture of you.
I definitely will. Hey!
That's a keeper.
Nothing quite like being outside. I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish. How to build...
Dad!
Good eyes, Don. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you need to be strong. Great shot, Don! I'm proud of you, Don. Always remember that, okay? Sorry, Don. Just gotta reset the timer. Hang on, kiddo. Just trying to get a shot of the two of us together.
It is hard. Okay. Hold on.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally normal, Don. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it. After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
This is weird. Hey, I'm trying to, can I see that?
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
He drowned in
Hello?
me.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw. Sure made him happy.
Oh, bro.
about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
I wish she could have told us about the world we saw.
No!
There's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure as hell. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Wow. Oh. That's my watch.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet...
A poem for Gus.
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that
I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
No.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
Hurricane. There was a hurricane or a tsunami that just came through, which is why the party chairs, okay, the party chairs that were in the tree were from the wedding. That makes sense, and that's why the totem pole with all the kids is knocked over. Oh! Oh, here we go.
came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't, until we found you.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Craig, be a baby. Yeah, I was about to say. Oh my gosh, really?
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Louis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle.
Oh, is that why he had the crown on his tombstone? Is that blood? No, it's paint. He's painting a door. That's pretty cool. Really good artist.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
That door's a secret entrance to somewhere in that.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Paintbrush door.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room, until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot. He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved. Bats. And toads. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more. I worried about him then, daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend. On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger. He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor. And he won. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. Minneapolis, until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for sinister serpents. He followed the sound of her
electric sitar.
Electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. He knew the world was all in his imagination. But he was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
This is cool.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
I have a tiny little door.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh, chat.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Oh, chat. No. Why?
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Molly.
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
No, chat. No.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
No, chat.
My brother
Oh.
was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Alright, let's press
On the
on.
way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
Is this my room?
I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Oh no, this is her mom's room.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time.
What happened?
Maybe I should have come sooner.
Did her mom die? Oh, there's the kite.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
It's a really good story. I want to know what her grandma found, though. concept artist? Wow. A really good concept, my guy. Character artist, 2D artist. Wow. Wow. So I guess maybe there are alternate endings. Wow. I'll have to come back to this. It's a really good game. Wow, wow. I am definitely gonna come back to this, and we'll see what's up with the replay story, but we will end this right here. Wow, this is really deep. This is a really well thought out and designed game. The stories are very engaging, and they definitely touch your emotions. Wow. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely be making another stream of this. My name is Cryptech, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Peace.